Well, hello, everybody. Merry Christmas and coming up on a Happy New Year. Of course, that dates this podcast, but it's very specific on what we're talking about today. And I want to talk about the recent thing that happened with Southwest Airlines and the cancellation of thousands of flights. Of course, they weren't the only company to do that, but they obviously were the one who appeared to have the poorest press and the greatest error in what happened. Now, I want to be clear and say this. I'm not really a Southwest Airline fan. I don't have anything against them. In fact, I think their business model is pretty amazing, and the way they treat their customers, the way they treat their staff is top notch, and they care about what happens and what they look like. You will see their CEO even on flights at times serving people. You'll see him kind of pop in. I want you to think about this. Southwest Airlines is the top carrier, I think, in the United States. It beats all the others. And they don't just go to hubs, they do communities. So that matters because what happens on other airlines, people travel to hubs. And that's where the people fly from, but that's where also their personnel is from. When you do the way they do and meet the needs of customers in a little more effective way for travel plans, you have a struggle sometimes, especially with these hundreds and thousands of flights being canceled and airplanes and staff not being able to get to where they need to get. You find everything begins to collapse. And as a rule of safety, they had to cancel flights. Now, I want to be clear again, I'm not a fan of Southwest. In fact, most of the airlines I'm not crazy about because it appears that they've just lost all customer service. But out of all of them, Southwest is probably one of the best. And what throws me kind of off here is the reactions of people towards the company. This was weather related. It wasn't a mistake in their system. It wasn't that someone hit a wrong button or someone messed up or there's a strike or something like that going on. We had unprecedented lowest temperatures in history and blizzards. And I live in Nashville. My pool froze. I mean, things were like never before, so to speak, in the coldness and the weather conditions. And this caused many flight delays and cancellations. But I don't understand the response. You have people going online and just berating and cutting them. I watch people scream and yell at these customer service representatives online. And I thought to myself, what has happened to us?
I want my stuff! If you go somewhere, give me my stuff! Give me my stuff right now! Give me my stuff!
I mean, what has happened? Now, stay with me. I think you're in your rights to complain when someone does something wrong. You're in your rights if they bring your wrong food. And the other day when they lost my luggage, we traveled from Nashville to Austin, Shannon and I, and we were on. They booked us on Southwest. And again, I don't like it. I don't like the cattle call thing. I want to know where my seat is. But we were on Southwest, and from Nashville to Austin, they lost my luggage. They lost both our luggage. And now, so how does that happen? It's a direct flight, but it's called human error. Now, I was upset about that because I needed my clothes, but they went above and beyond. We'll deliver it to you if you need it sooner. As soon as it gets here, we'll pay you to travel back here. We'll also give you a reimbursement for I think they gave us like $600 total for all the problems that were there. So they couldn't take care or couldn't fix the error, but they went out of their way to help as a result because it was their error. This was not their error. This was weather related, and the system broke because the system's not designed to deal with this. Things happen in this world that are beyond our control. And it appears that many of us have come to a place of entitlement or something like that. And it's pretty specific in the United States and a few other countries where we demand people to do something like we are the authority and we want to force people to do things. And then if they don't do it exactly like we do it, we berate them, we attack them, we go online. And again, I'm not saying if a company does bad, you don't return them into the Better Business Bureau or you don't do a Google review that says, hey, they did this and you should know this. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this just unrestricted like vile that's coming out of people towards an organization that has been known for their customer service forever. And it's just kind of proof to how people today don't judge you based on the good things you've done, how great you've been in the past, or anything like that. Rather, they judge you on their perception of their current situation and the inconvenience you're putting them in. And that's a sad place to be. Because although we all want to be in a place where we get our needs met and we feel good about who we are and we feel like a company's taking care of us, there are things that are going to go wrong. And I think this even passes on from a company, and it's what we see in relationships. We're about to come into January, and January is the leading month out of all 12 months where people file for divorce. There's a lot of reasons behind that, but what you're looking at is being played out like with the Southwest thing. You see this in relationships now. Relationships will hit a bump, and instead of understanding circumstances and offering grace and forgiveness, we start drawing lines. We start making demands. We tell everybody else about it. We make a big deal, and some of them are big deals. But my point behind it is, we instead of finding a way of commonality where we can work together and we can get a solution, many people would rather just fight and scream and yell to get their initial frustration off, to only find out it didn't get any better. It actually got worse. I would encourage you and me today, as you face things that are out of your control, as you face things where people mess up or nature takes in or whatever, realize this: you're not the only person on this planet. There are millions. I think it's 8 billion now. Okay. And so there's got to be a place where we realize we're in a community. And it's not just me. It's not just what I want. It's not how important I am, but it's how am I a part of a community that makes things better. I feel bad for Southwest and their mistakes. I'll probably fly them when I need to, but I can't believe that what's been happening on this relatively understandable weather-related incident. I'm wondering, how could we do things different? How could we become human beings? Again, I know frustration's there, but how do we not let our frustration change who we are and make us vile, make us people who are repulsive? I'm making a commitment. I'm not going to say I'm not going to complain about things if my stuff is bad. What I am saying is that when the time comes and something happens poorly to me, I'm going to be really careful in my response, because on the other end of my tongue, so to speak, of my words, is another human being, a life that's been fearfully and wonderfully created, a person who has dreams of their own, who didn't show up today at their office or their job or on the phone for customer service to just tick you off. They showed up to do a service. I think we could be better at what we do. Take care, and I hope you have a great day.